Welcome to the Nobody Guide to Life, where we provide tips and tools for personal growth, personal development, and your spiritual journey that you can use right now in your everyday life. I'm Melissa.
And I'm J.A.
Thanks for joining us today.
All right. It is almost here.
Yeah.
The new year.
Yeah.
But you know what?
What?
I am so excited. You know why I'm excited?
Why?
Because this is year 2020. It's symmetrical.
It's very symmetrical.
Is that the word? Is that the word I want?
It's even.
It's even, yeah.
Sure.
It's
but
an even
it's also symmetrical. If you cut it down the middle,
That's right.
there's 20 on one side,
20 on the other.
Works.
I love even years.
Good. Me too.
I like when I'm an even age.
Yes. That always makes me feel better too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm odd all the time despite my age.
That's right.
But it is nice in those even years.
That's right.
Good chi.
All right. Well, so this time around, I'm thinking about still participating in the whole resolution thing.
Yay for me.
Yeah. You don't even know what it is
I'm
yet.
just kidding.
You're not kidding. She's not
I
kidding.
don't care. It doesn't really matter what it is. I'm sorry. Continue.
Anyway, I'm going to be participating again in the whole resolution thing, but I've been thinking about it from a different point of view.
Okay.
And the reason is because I'm thinking about every time there's a new beginning that we go through somewhere in life, there's always so many expectations around it.
Sure.
And that, it seems to dampen the intent behind the resolution.
Well, sure. I mean, I have never really been able to keep a New Year's resolution myself. I have been of the group where we get the new gym membership and you go like a lot the first few weeks of January, or if you're lucky, maybe into February. Yeah. And then things happen and you don't get a chance to go. And it's like, oh, well, okay. Well, I guess that didn't work out.
Well, that's a little tip, a little hot tip from us here at the Nobody Guide to Life. If you're going to join a gym, join in February.
Yeah,
because there's a lot more parking. Get
the pick of the litter.
That's right, because the parking seems to dwindle off. But
I never seem to be able to keep them because it's almost impossible.
It's pressure.
Well, we set ourselves up for failure before we even start.
Right. You know, I sometimes I make a resolution, I'm going to eat better.
Yeah.
But I always make that resolution right around the holiday time, and that was, our last episode talking about the holiday. That's the worst possible time.
It is.
To make that resolution.
It is.
Because I'm remembering how good sugar cookies taste.
Well, they do.
They do taste good.
And you should be allowed to eat sugar cookies.
That's right.
For the few times a year that we do that.
That's right. So what I'm thinking about this year is backing off all of that pressure, backing off all of that expectation. So instead of setting up, I don't know, like a New Year resolution.
Yeah. Maybe
a New Year's Day resolution.
Sure.
So focusing more on the idea of what can I do today?
Yes.
And I'm hoping that maybe that'll get me a little more motivated instead of just giving up on the whole enterprise if I have one off day.
Right. Well, we have lives in motion, right?
Very fast motion.
Right. And I know with a child and work and everything else, it's very difficult to add, like, say, going to the gym. That's like an hour and a half to a day that's already filled.
Right.
So then you have to find places to shave off that time.
Right.
And I think for a lot of people, that's just not practical.
Right.
I mean, getting up an hour earlier in the morning, sure, you could do that for a while, but it takes some getting used to. And eventually it's going to catch up with you. You're going to need to sleep in. And then you're left in the day saying, oh, I don't have the time to do it.
Right.
And we get right back into the old cycle.
Right. And it's almost like we sabotage ourselves because we know there's going to be a morning when we're not going to be able to set the alarm for 5:30 instead of 6:30. And then it's easier just not to exercise. So if your resolution was I'm going to get up early and exercise more, but then you find you can't get up early in the morning, you're going to give up on the real benefit, which is more movement, more activity.
Right.
So I think what we want to try to do around here, at least me, I don't know, you do whatever you want.
Thank you.
You're your own person. But I think what I want to do this year is get more into the spirit of, like I said, the day.
Yeah.
Today. I went to a conference about a week ago, and I picked up all these really great, it was a conference on mindfulness. Mm-hmm. And there were all these amazing techniques and things that we learned from the guy who was teaching it. And one of them was this really awesome technique that I had read about previously, but to hear it again, it comes into your life once, that's interesting. It comes into your life twice, pay attention to it. So I tried it during the seminar really intently. We did it for about 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. And it really really relaxed me. I wanted to make that part of my resolution in the new year, really to discipline myself to breathe more.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? In the last week?
Yeah. How many times have you done it?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I've done it, but I've only done it a few times. Well, if my resolution depended on that, I'd never do it again.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is back off that pressure and just become more aware of my breathing. And if I don't get to it one day, I'm not going to give up on it. I'll just try it the next day.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. Actually, some of the best advice I got was from a fellow mom, and she had quite a few more kids than I do. But we were talking, and, you know, as moms do, we lament about all the mistakes we're making.
Dads do that too.
Yeah. We have clubs, though. But anyway, she said, there are days when, you know, I don't feel like I'm doing as well. But she said, I just say, all right, tomorrow I'll do a better job. And that kind of, I don't know, a light bulb went off with me.
Yeah.
Because I don't even wait till the next day. So say our daughters watch too much TV. I'm just aware of it. And then at that moment, I turn it off and we do something else. Or say she's come home and eaten nothing but junk food, which I wish I could say never happens in our house. But there are days when it happens. And instead of even waiting to say, oh, well, tomorrow I'll feed her better, I start right then. We put the cookies away, and then dinner I make something healthy. I put all the good stuff on her plate. She doesn't eat most of it, but at least I've done what I can to try to get her to eat healthy right then. So I didn't wait till the first of the year. I didn't even wait till tomorrow. I just heightened my awareness of what's going on in my life right now, and then determine the small thing that I can do to feel better about it and make that change.
Right. And sometimes, you know, to go back to our kiddo, right at the meal, we'll come up with really inventive strategies to get her to eat. Sometimes I actually am sweating after our meal because we've been working so hard. So we don't give up on it in frustration. I mean, sometimes we do. But the point is, it's just like resolutions. If it didn't work once, sometimes we lay that on top of the whole year.
Right.
I mean, I'm speaking from experience. Every year I try to participate in this idea of shifting the energy of the upcoming year.
Right.
And what I notice is I get to December and, you know, Melissa and I talk about it, and I realize I really haven't done it at all. And so we really wanted to switch it up. And I think what you're saying is really important, because there's no sense in waiting for tomorrow or for next year, just like you said.
Right.
If I forget to do my breathing technique one day, like I said, I don't give up on it.
Right.
Or I pick something, and this is key, I pick something that I can do easily, something that I can do any day of the week, and most importantly, something that I have control over.
Control. Well, then I was just going to say that, like our daughter eating a good dinner, for example, all I can do is put the food on the plate. I can't necessarily make her eat it, nor do I really want to force her to eat anything in particular. So all I do is the best that I can. And then I can feel good about the fact that I made a shift, I made a change, and we'll see. Usually she gets at least one bite of broccoli in. I mean, usually some of the good stuff gets in, even if it's not the whole plate. So, but what we can control is all we can control.
That's right.
And some of your resolutions out there may be to let go of control a little bit. So
that would be...
that's also a worthy endeavor.
That's
and
right.
And you can use that moment to moment as well.
That's right. That's right. Now, this whole thing of control is really intriguing to me, too, because the thing I'm actually trying to commit to each day is this idea of breath control. So my entire resolution is about control, but I'm letting go of how I approach that resolution.
You know what? You're confusing me. I have control. I don't have control. I don't want control. I want to go with the flow.
All right. Well, here it is in a nutshell. Really what I'm doing is I'm resolving not to judge myself too harshly. I'm resolving to give myself some space to explore, space to experiment. If I can't do it or if I fall short, then I'll do better in the next moment.
Right.
And if something stops me from what I need to do, look, when I'm meditating, sometimes I hear screaming from downstairs.
Me or our daughter? I don't know.
Yes. So, okay. So I open my eyes, crack them open, I get up, and I head downstairs.
All right.
And that I think that mindset is something that I'd really like to carry forward. I don't beat myself up because I didn't finish my 15 minutes of meditation.
Right.
I just smile and realize in this moment it's just not meant to be.
Right. That's really important.
So here's something that you can consider trying then. So as the new year approaches, try something different along with us. Don't go for the biggest change, right? So my New Year's resolution isn't, I'm going to be a calmer person. All right, that's a noble goal.
Are you sure you don't want to do that? He's making a face.
That is a noble goal. However, I don't always have control over that.
That's true.
But what I do have control over is my breath.
Yes.
So a simpler resolution is today, I'm going to work on controlling my breath for a few minutes.
Yeah. Mine actually is about breath too. I am trying to breathe more from my diaphragm instead of the shallow breathing. So I've been, that maybe I should try breathing too and focus on where it's coming from.
So don't go for the biggest change. I mean, you can if you want.
Right.
Look, we're not telling you how to live here. You want to go for the biggest
of
change?
course.
Go for it.
We've all been there too.
And we're not telling you to ditch discipline. We're not telling you to ditch structure or goals. We're just telling you maybe don't make that the whole focus.
Set yourself up for success instead of inevitable defeat.
That's right. So don't go for the biggest thing. Go for something you can control. So I've decided first, I'm going to pick something small, and then I'm going to do that small thing each day.
Right.
And hopefully as each day of the calendar goes by, I don't arrive at December 2020 and think, I really gave up on doing that. That really wasn't something I should have given up on.
Right. Also, things evolve. So,
That's
you
true.
you may start somewhere small, even with the exercise thing. You can start off by taking a 10-minute walk.
Right.
Maybe that'll turn into a 20-minute walk.
Right.
Maybe it'll be followed with, some muscle building exercises. So your resolution can take different shapes and evolve as the year goes on because it's up to you in that moment what you need to feel best. I mean, isn't that what all these resolutions are? It's to make us feel our best.
That's right.
So be open to that. Be open to the evolution of what's best for you.
That's true. And, I find, at least for me, that I develop habits easier when there's a positive loop going on.
Right.
And some people don't respond to that. Some people develop habits under duress or tremendous amount of pressure, but that's not how it is for me. And I've noticed, for those of you who've listened to the show for a while, a lot of the things that we've tried to implement or that I've tried to implement in my life, they've become habit. Mm-hmm. So if by February or March I find that this breathing technique has become part of my life, then I'm free to grow and to do something else. That goal that I set to be a calmer person, it's all being fed by a simple daily resolution to do something I can control to reach that goal. It's simple, it's specific, it's something repeatable, and it's something I can do each day.
Does that mean you're going to try chunky tomato sauce?
No.
Oh well. Thought I'd give it a try.
No, I do not. I do not. That is one thing that I will not try.
I'm just kidding. I know.
But who knows? 2021, that's an odd year. So who knows?
Who knows? Maybe you'll be eating all kinds of chunky sauces by then.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, I should get going on the recipes
That's
now.
Right. That's right. Send all of your chunky sauce recipes to us on Instagram.
And I will be sure to get a good spoon that I can chase you around the house with.
That's right. I cannot wait. That's going to be the highlight of my year.
All right.
So hopefully we've inspired you to take a little more control over the resolution process by picking something small.
Live in the moment.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up for what's happened that day or even that moment, because the next moment's an opportunity to get right back on track and to do something different. And I know that piece of advice for me was key in being a parent. Maybe it'll help you in another way.
That's right. And that brings us to the end of this episode of The Nobody Guide to Life. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join our Facebook group, The Nobody Guide to Life, or reach out to us on Instagram at Melissa Plosker and at J.A. Plosker. And as always, keep practicing and have a good week.
Bye.